Welcome everyone. This is my Dandelion prompt journal, which was a prompt prompt challenge put together by Shay from Sleepless Page and also her friends Anna and Leanne. I've linked them down in the description box below. I just thought I would do a video to show you what I ended up with in my wild journey into looking into dandelions. So I've done this in the form of an altered book, which is my first altered book I've ever done, which is pretty exciting for me. And I love the colour yellow, so I was really excited when I heard that this would be a dandelion challenge. So I'll undo this simple ribbon closure with the lace, vintage lace, I believe it is. Maybe it's retro. I'm not so good on knowing exactly what things are, but they're a find, I believe, I got from the Sewing Basket, which is here in Australia. It's a not-for-profit, and they support people with disabilities, and it's all donations that come into the store, and it's such a beautiful treasure chest, treasure trove to go through. So I have called my journal Dander Gems, which is of course a play on my name of all the gems of knowledge I discovered by doing this actual challenge. I really enjoyed the deep dive into it because, as a lot of people would mention, I do like to think about things a lot and find connections. So I'm going to have a little seat here and go through this journal with you. But firstly, I'm going to explain that this is my favorite part in this journal. What I've it's like a corrugated, very small corrugated textured card, and it's from a coffee cup, and it was I just love it, and it went perfect with the journal. So let's open up. So this talks about the prompt, and I did talk about how I didn't need another project to work on, because I think I have, like, I don't know, 25 project boxes and wanting to do a lot more. But anyway, when I first saw the prompt, I was like, dandelions, spring for the Northern Hemisphere, but we're going into autumn here in Sydney, Australia. So I was like, well, how am I going to find any dandelions? And then the next day when I walked out of my house, I saw dandelions everywhere in my garden. So yes, so that worked well, and I laminated a few and put them on this. This was like a brochure for paint colours, so that was fun. And then I started to think more about, what do I know about the dandelion? And what I found out was that this yellow flower is actually also the white flower that you see that you can blow off and make a wish. I did not know that. I know you might be surprised, but my mum didn't know it either. So there you go. So that's why I've used this this journaling card and stamped on it, how did I not know? And then I just did a little bit of research and learnt that the dandelion represents the sun, the moon and the stars. It's the only flower that represents all three. So that was really wonderful. And this little quote's about how I suddenly woke up and learnt about the dandelion. But it's also recognising that being aware of not knowing something means you are still already half awake. So that made me feel a bit better. And what I did was, after I discovered that it was also this white fluffy flower, I looked into the life cycle, and then I just printed off these wonderful flashcards about the life cycle, which is from sparklebox.co.uk, and then I took a photo of trying to represent each part of the life cycle, and that's from my front garden, Then this was my dad and my parents' garden, and theirs were just more fluffier. They were lovely. And then my friend Anna, her garden, and then another one for my dad's garden, and yeah, and then just how amazing my dad has a dandelion garden, a weed garden, as we would probably say. So that was me learning about it. And then also the day after the prompt, I noticed the video from Shay. I met up with a friend for an art class, and then she was wearing this beautiful, fun, yellow, sunny jumper or sweatshirt, however you guys want to call it. And I thought that was just so appropriate. And I did a little stenciling here to show the sun, how the dandelion's such a sunny, happy flower. And yeah, and I used a bit of, you can see more of these journaling cards, and also from a golden book. So I really love doing that. So that was great. And talking about, thank you, Shay, for this prompt and getting me onto it. And then when I think more about dandelions, I think of fields of yellow flowers and just lying down and looking up at the sky. So that's what this represents. And this was from a lovely little kids book, and it talked about how the child teaches the adult to stop and notice things. So that was really, really lovely. I really enjoyed that. And these are just die cuts that I made my first time, just testing them out because I've just got into die cutting. So there you go. And then this page is about it's about what I thought they were. So I thought the white fluffy flowers, we would call them Santa Clauses, which might sound odd to some people, but that fluffiness, when we'd see one, we'd think, oh, Santa Clauses. So you sort of make a wish for what you want for Christmas. So that was my idea. But also the yellow part of the flower we would call wet the beds. So I know it sounds funny, but apparently that comes from the folk name, like dandelion, piss a bed, which is... It says, if a child sniffed a dandelion on May Day, they wouldn't wet the bed for a year. But I think it's more because dandelion tea was used to flush out the kidneys and a massive diuretic. So that's another reason why we could have called them wet the beds and we didn't even know it. So there you go. Now my mum and I have been doing this deep dive into dandelions. We have found that out. And this beautiful little lion here is my creation. Well, not so much, but my prompt that I put into an AI generated image search. And I just asked for a lion that looked like a dandelion, and there were many to choose from, but this one definitely took my fancy, and I just love having this eyelash trim to sort of represent his mane here. And yeah, it was really lovely. And I've got this handmade sort of paper, the green paper there, and then I stenciled over it with this beautiful stencil. I really love it. It reminded me of dandelions, so got that. And then I've got another beautiful image from the golden book, and also I don't know if it comes up well on the camera there, but also some of the little seeds that come off the white fluffy flower, and it's like you're breathing into the wind and setting them free. And so that's how I wanted to put it across the page. So I really enjoyed doing that one. And now this is an absolutely gorgeous little poem from an the oldest golden book that I worked with. And it talks about how you, oh dandelion, yellow as gold, what do you do all night? I wait and wait till the cold dews fall and my hair grows long and white. And what do you do when your hair is white and the children come out to play? They take me up in their dimpled hands and blow my hair away. So I thought, when I'm doing this, you know, deep dive into dandelions, I was thinking, what does this represent for me? And it's embracing these white hairs that seem to be coming through on my head lately. So I think this is quite poignant. Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happens. So I'm a brunette, but now I shall become a whitehead, shall we say. And there's one of the fluffy dandelions I laminated there and put a beautiful strip of lace. I really love that layout. Gorgeous. Now, this one, so as we were mentioning before, they're called Wet the Beds. And that reminded me of how some people, maybe younger people of certain generations, may not really enjoy hearing the word moist because it might have connotations. So that's me talking and discussing that, and that's the poor dandelion, sad, because everyone thinks it's a weed. Everyone thinks it's wet, it's moist, it's not a good thing. So I did an AI generated image there for that one, and I just think it's so cute. And then I also added some little water droplets here, and also some stenciling in. I just hand cut out those letters, as you could probably tell, and some stamping as well. And I also gessoed the background there, just so I could blend, so I could write over the text and it wouldn't be as obvious. So as you can see, I wrote that on April 6th, so it's taken me a little while to get to this video, so I apologize. And now this image is this is my front door, the background, so I sort of wanted to do the shadow look, and I just thought it looked gorgeous against the door, and then it just was beautiful light, so I put that there. And then I utilized the stamps that I had gotten for this challenge. Oops, maybe I shouldn't, but I loved them. They're beautiful, and I've never really looked at dandelions properly before. So I've made these journaling cards to suit the theme more by adding stamps there, and there. So, and then just a little bit of writing there. And this was part of a notebook that my friend Anna, who was also doing the challenge, gave to me. Now this one is kind of funny because this stamp here, I thought these were gum blossoms, which are an Australian native flower, which are my absolutely favourite flower. I love them. But then I realised as I was doing the dandelion challenge, these big leaves, the gum blossom doesn't have those. This is actually supposed to be dandelions. And then I found this beautiful image, which was like an end paper in a book, and I realised that both of them were featured on the page. So I thought that was kind of cool. So I just did a little decorative feature there. Now this is going back to when I was talking about the field of yellow flowers, and I think of also running through a field and feeling free, like in The Sound of Music. And I just played around with this a little bit. I'm not sure if it comes up on camera because I'm just learning how to do these videos now. But I just did a little bit of play around in Photoshop just to make it look a little more artistic, but you get the idea. And then also, so instead of The Sound of Music, I created an image called The Sound of Dandelions, like we're floating through the field and feeling so free and everything. And then I talk about like a song that was talking about being yellow and talks about dandelions as well. So that was fun. Now, I know I have mentioned that I've done a few things with AI, and I just went wild with this idea because I feel sorry for the poor dandelion. I mean, it gets such a big bad rap, right? Like people call it a weed, but it gives so much and it's so resilient as well. So I decided that it should have a different image. And these are the types of things I came up with when I was going through some prompts in AI. And I thought, this is how a dandelion would look. Zoolander dandy as a fashion icon. I thought it was kind of fun. And then I was playing around with the idea of urban, graffiti, that kind of thing, and gangster looking dandy. I just loved it. It was so much fun. Felt like a little kid again. So that's what that's about. And then we finish on talking about that brand, that image of being a weed. And I thought, who could be an icon? Who could represent to try and get that weed sort of image out of the dandelion sort of sphere? So I altered a journaling card to say weed never again. And then I created Taylor Swift saying shake it off. So we want to shake off that image and give the dandelion a bit of a chance. So I thought that was kind of fun. And at the time, Taylor Swift was in Australia doing big concerts, and it was just, lots of Swifties everywhere. It's kind of wild. So that is my journal. I did do another one, but I haven't finished it yet. But this was my main one, and I really, really enjoyed doing it. And I really appreciate Shay and also Anna and Leanne and their ideas as well. I have to learn how to do bows better, but but these journals that I do for me because I was working 15 years as a photographer. I was documenting everyone else's memories and everything and not spending time for myself. So this is my outlet now, and I'm really enjoying this journey. So thank you for being with me today, and if you are keen to see more of my journals, do let me know. It's okay if you don't. It's all good. I'm doing this for me. I'm not doing this to start a business or anything like that. This is my personal journey, so you get to see a little insight into me and my wild mind and ideas. So yeah, hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll catch you later.